And if you open up the Bible to the first page, it's unbelievable. You would see splitting everywhere. In Genesis, it says, in the beginning, God hovered over the tohu wahavhu, the chaotic and formless deep. And that God swept over this void, this sea of chaos, and right away, he begins to split everything. God split the light from the darkness, day from night, the land from the sea, the flying creatures from the land creatures, and the land creatures from the sea creatures, to lastly, humans, who God split into two, masculine and feminine. Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 says, so God created humankind in his image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. God is both masculine and feminine, but that gets split and is expressed in the male-female dyad. If we continue reading, we see that God places how many trees in the garden? 2. One is good and one is bad. 2 people, 2 trees, 2 supernatural creatures speaking to these humans. One is God who walks in the garden, and then there's this other character who's represented as a snake, who has just as much knowledge as God, who also has access to the humans, and who's encouraging humans to do the opposite of what God told them to do. Then Adam and Eve have 2 sons. Abel is good, Cain is bad. Why all of this splitting? This division of things, when clearly it all came from the same source, the tohu wahavhu, the chaotic deep. Let us remember that splitting refers to a psychological defense mechanism in which an individual tends to see people, situations, or concepts as either all good or all bad, right or wrong, with no middle ground or recognition of nuance. This defense mechanism can lead to black and white thinking, unstable interpersonal relationships, and difficulty in integrating conflicting emotions and ideas. Who wrote the Bible? It surely wasn't God writing it per se. It was through these stories and ideas that came to us, through the people who wrote them. And so we must read them knowing that. We must read it knowing that there's a tendency for humans to split things into categories, in this case, good and bad, light and dark, male and female, Cain and Abel, God and the snake.